the MedLab Spire platform. Here, we seek to bring medical laboratory practitioners, students all over Africa and the globe to discuss issues that matters to the medical laboratory society. I'll be your host tonight, Abdurrahman Ba, a medical laboratory scientist in Sierra Leone. And because of my bad voice and in order for us not to get bored with the discussion, I'll be joined by a sweet sounding voice lady who's got the voice of Celine Dion in her voice box. Madame Marie will be my co-host tonight. Marie, say hi.
Good evening, everybody.
As I
Thank you,
told you.
Abdulrahman.
Yes.
And I am a final year medical laboratory science student at the College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences.
All right. Thank you.
You're
Um,
welcome.
today we take a look into a topic and a matter that borders all medical laboratory uh, professionals, whether in Sierra Leone or any part of the world. Decades ago, almost all activities in the laboratory were done manually by hand. Fast forward, we transitioned to semi-automated machines in the laboratory. And now we have fully automated machines, robots, that handles repetitive tasks such as sample preparation and analysis with precision and deliver results in time. With the advent of AI, there is now a focus into smart laboratories where AI-powered robots will handle more than the mechanical aspects of lab automation. They will make intelligent decisions based on the information they see and may be able to operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. These shifts may seem like machines are taking over our world and put us out of jobs, but in reality, they are actually supporting quality life for both patients and laboratory staffs. They are in fact creating new job opportunities for humans, provided we have the right skills. Whilst automation, AI, and robots may have the edge in precision, humans still have the edge in strategies. Thus, in this 2 days conversation, we will examine the power of robots in diagnostics and put forward strategies to work with them in the lab and still be relevant because automation in laboratory will just keep getting better and the future is for those who prepares today. The conversation is going to be very educative and interactive. We will learn from our experts who are already in the field of robo-diagnostics. You will also have the opportunity to share your thoughts and ask questions. Stay with us for the next 60 minutes and be part of the conversation. And once again, I welcome you all. Moving forward, I would like to invite the proprietor of MedLab Spire, MLS Michael Toure, to give us an overview of the MedLab Spire platform. MLS Michael Toure, the floor is yours. Welcome, sir.
Yes, good evening, everyone. So, personally, I would like to welcome each and everyone here on this platform and who deemed it possible to attend, although other people are still coming in. But as we are going in, I just want to welcome everyone. So, MedAspire is actually an emerging initiative one of the main things we are looking forward to is to see how best we advance laboratory medicine, and not just that, but research and also innovation across Africa. So looking at the different regions in Africa, West, East, and all, we notice that there are some, especially when it comes to medical lab, there are a lot of students, there are a lot of professionals, especially early career scientists, who are finding it very difficult to see how best they proceed or move forward with their career. And some of them are not actually open up to mentorship. So MedLab Spire is there to see how best we create a platform wherein we can advance medical lab professionals, early career professionals, and also students, not just professionals, because we believe in the groundwork. So we believe if we nurture students that are coming up, then the future will be bright for the profession. And we actually look forward to see how best we promote collaboration, not just among ourselves or within Sierra Leone, but within Africa, to see how best we connect with people, we can share ideas, and also see how best we bring our talent together, see how best we bring our ideas together to promote and solve real health challenges in our different communities. So through these webinars that we are organizing and also training programs, and we've been organizing mentorship too. And going forward, we will be looking at research collaboration. So we want to see how best we can bridge the gap between academic knowledge and how we can apply these things in the real world. That is with the inclusion of students and early career scientists, not just professionals, but those who are just stepping into the field of medical laboratory science. So today, this Robo-Diagnostics is one of the webinars that we are organizing to see how best we promote our mission and vision, wherein we are bringing together people from different or diverse areas in Africa, and for us to be able to think and to learn from each other and redefine laboratory practice and research in Africa. So I believe if we come together here as lab scientists or as upcoming lab scientists, and we are actually not only competent, but I believe we can be very creative with our talent. And since we can collaborate, and with all this, I believe we can really do a great thing in order to transform healthcare through diagnostics. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, MLS Michael here to for that brief overview of the MedLab Spire platform. So there we have it. The MedLab Spire platform seeks to bring collaboration among medical laboratory professionals and students across Africa to build a better, healthier society and prepare for the future. Thank you so much, MLS Michael here to and we pray that we'll have more people on board to share ideas and build a better future. Next, I will hand over to my co-host to take us through the next agenda. MLS Marie Kamara, the floor is yours.
Yes, we'll now extend to today's theme, which will be focused on harnessing automation in research, innovation, Robo-Diagnostics. So this session will explore how automation and intelligent systems are reshaping the way we conduct research, drive innovation, and empower professionals across the health sciences. And to guide us through this fascinating topic, we are honored to have MLS Ebenezer Penu, a medical laboratory scientist and the founder of the Elite Research and Data Science Institute. He is also a PhD student in molecular and cellular biology at the University of Texas, Dallas, USA, with his research focused on biology. He has experience in computational data analysis, and he has been teaching research data science courses as well as delivering personalized data analysis, which has resulted to him having 40 plus peer reviewed publications in top journals. Currently, he uses the R programming language for most of his data science works and double as the R trainer for the Ghana R users community. So I now welcome Emelesenu as he share insights on how we can harness automation to power research, innovation, and human excellence in the era of robo-diagnostics. Emelesenu, sir, welcome. The floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Mary, for the great introduction. And I'm happy to join today's discussion for us to discuss something that is very important in this era of evolution. There have been different
Yeah.
series of evolution, but in this era, it's either you become part or you are left behind. And I'm very happy for the first time to discuss on this very important topic. If you are happy and you are also eager to learn more, put one in the chat. Let me see that you are here. Just put one in the chat if you're also happy for today's discussion. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, great. So let's see how it goes. So at the first part, I'm going to share my screen and do some presentations so that we see some of the trends in the kind of knowledge that is being out there. Then we will now come back to any question that we have. But along the line, if you have any question on it, just drop it on the chat. So quickly, I'm going to share my screen. All right, that's cool. Okay, so I want to confirm you can see my screen from the presenter view.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So let's see. So this is the main theme for the webinars for today and also for tomorrow, which I thank the organizers for bringing us together on the aspect of robo-diagnostics, the ultimate shift in diagnostic laboratory and human potential. But the interesting thing for today is I'm going to talk about this aspect of harnessing automation in research, innovation, and the human potential in the era of robo-diagnostics. This is the next chapter for diagnosis laboratory professional. There's no two-way about this statement. And I thank MedLab Spa for their platform giving me today to talk about this very important topic. So Ax already introduced, Ebenezer Senu, founder of the Elliott Research and Data Science Institute. And I find this kind of webinar very integrating into what we do, because this is one aspect we've been trying to solve or contribute to over the past year. So let's see. And as you would already introduce, all these things can be done through some of the science tools that we use. This in R, we can do this geographical mapping. So what are we looking at? What's the roadmap for today? We have to be able to interact, just free. So it's going to be more of discussions. Now, that is the ultimate shift. The ultimate shift is that the laboratory landscape is undergoing a rapid technology-driven transformation. Maybe you may not see it in aspect of maybe your country, or maybe your country is now trying to develop, or your kind of the kind of lab you are working currently is not really adjusting, but globally is going on. This change is going on. But what is the core question that we have is how do we ensure this integration of AI and robotics strengthens rather than replaces professional practice? Are you ready to be laid off of the work? Or you are also positioning yourself that you have more hand when the area reaches your lab? One of the most important revolution that we witnessed the past years is in the area of COVID-19. What did we notice about COVID-19? In the area of COVID-19, there was low kind of use of PCR in a lot of labs. So when COVID came, those laboratory scientists that knew how to run PCR to do diagnosis, they became automatic billionaire. If you saw some of these things happening in your country, put one in the chat because my country, Ghana, I saw some of those things. Did you see some of these things happen in your country? That the laboratory personnel that were able to run the PCR and the rest, they become the head of most of the labs running this COVID tests and the rest. Exactly. So can you think of a future whereby in the lab, those that will have this knowledge, AI robotics, will now position themselves to become the HOD, supervise a particular project, and those that did not learn will be kind of withdrawn from the lab. Do you see that future? It can happen. So a day will come, let's say there will be introduction, your HOD or your government will go and buy these huge machines, or there will be donations. Then in this case, those that have the skills to operate this machine, you will be recruited. But if you don't, you are lucky behind. So it means that we have to be able to what? Ensure the integration of AI and robotics. It strengthens us rather than replaces some of us. That is what we are going to look at in the way forward. So what is the role? We are looking at automation plus robotics plus AI and to become intelligent diagnostics. These two things are becoming together. So we have to be able to what? Combine all these things. So automation is just going to eliminate repetition, as I was said in the introduction. Make sure we have high volume tasks. Robotics is going to provide precision, continuous operations. There's program, so everything is really precision, is on point. The intelligence will transform the data into predictive insight. Then our goal is to redefine the human role, moving from technician to expert, analyst, and innovator. That is our goal. So when these new technologies are coming in, our goal in the lab is going to even be improved. We are now going to be an expert, analyst, and innovator. Then all the pipette and all those things will be given to the robot, which will become very nice. I see this as a very good transformation or breakthrough for us, not as a disadvantage. And I'm happy to see that we leave all these things, technicians, they add this thing to this robot. Then we now become the scientists. We able to look at how our brain works to support this. So all these things coming, we have to be prepared. Are you going to learn about how to even face this robot? Wow. How are you going to position yourself to make sure that, because as they are bringing all these robots, a lot of work is even coming. The robot can break down. Are you ready to face? This can break down. Are you ready? So there's even a lot of employment that is coming. It depends on how we position ourselves to redefine our current role that we have in the lab. Yes, in the aspect of the total laboratory automations, if the rise of robot is going to what? Connect either pre-analytical, analytical, or post-analytical via robotics. Are you ready for that? That would be very interesting because it will reduce errors, improve turnaround time. So sometimes you'll be adding this reagent to this reagent, and you coming to work, someone has even given you a bad day. You come to the work, you are not in good mood. You are prone to making error. Instead of you to add patient A to these days, you've added patient B, wrong diagnosis. But if we had a machine, just put all the samples there, program, and it will reduce this error. Turnaround time. There's really someone is in severe condition. We have to wait, especially microbe people. We have to wait for you 1 week before we get a result. The person is in severe pain. With the help of this kind of robotics, this is going to reduce. We need to kind of reduce a lot of workload. Just simple FBC, just simple this. We have to manually put all this thing in the FBC machine one after the other. Are we ready to program that? Oh, as soon as we collect the sample, just move to the machine. That's all. Your new role is to just go and look at the result and make the decisions. This will be very interesting. Automated analysis. Already there's automated. So previously, they used to do all these things like manually before automated analysis came, and all these things were programmed. So now, if they introduce AI and everything today, it will move to another level. So the evolution started way back, and it's going to continue. The world is not waiting for you. You have to make sure you move with the world. So this is going to be high-speed multi-parameter instrument chemistry, where this is going to help us improve our work. Hence, handles massive workloads with minimum human interventions. It will be very interesting because it will help us to serve our patient very better. Robotics, microfluids, like DNA sequences, all those things. When it comes to my field, the aspect of molecular and cellular biology, already we are looking for it to do this. We want a lot of these things to be done faster so that our research methodology and everything will be faster. They had I spend a lot of time in the lab doing a lot of pipetting doing this. But if I have machine, I will just look at the hypothesis, then I'll give it to machine, put the samples, then my only new rule is to look at the results than to spend a lot of hours standing doing pipetting. So it's also accelerating research, not only in the lab. The research is going from manual pipetting to high throughput sciences. We are doing a lot of things. So robotic system thousands of samples or compounds quickly. That is what we are interested in because day in, day out, they are talking about antimicrobial resistance. We need to discover new drug. COVID came, we need to discover a lot of drugs, vaccines. We need to do all those things. So if you have this high throughout these machines, robotic, it will make things easy and dramatically reduces time from hypothesis to data collection, a lot of workload that we do. It's going to do automated data processing and analysis, machine learning like omics. So earlier we said the data science, that's some of the things we do. If you join most of our subsequent training, you will look at to learn some of this omics data analysis. So currently I have to do omics data analysis to look at some genomics data. So these machines will help us to generate this data and we can proceed to look at what is happening. This is a complex level from the DNA to mRNA to protein, what is happening. It will help in our discovery very faster. We don't need to do a lot of time. Before all these genomics machines, they were doing a lot of crude waste. So it will help to identify substrate patterns, correlate the pattern that human analysts might miss, driving through innovation. Some of these things are very high throughout. Some things it's not easy to look at proteins, protein over 1,000 proteins by human eye. This machine will analyze it for us. When you come R, you just have to program everything, write R script. It's going to tell you that oh, this protein is more expressed or down expressed in this disease condition. Then what do you do with this? You move forward with your discovery. So all this thing is going to help us. Research ethics and reproducibility. Automation ensure the procedural consistency. Sometimes there's a protocol that we use to do this experiment. Or maybe in the course of the work, you realize you've missed one point. But if there's supposed to be a machine you've programmed, the machine is following the program that from step 1, go to step 2, step 3, step 4. So there's no way there's going to miss a certain point. By human, we are very prone to make mistakes because we easily forget our eyesight, we've missed a particular region. This is going to help us to reduce all these things. Then you have to repeat the experiment again. all these things is going to solve. So AI's role is elevating diagnosis to precision medicine, both in either the lab or the research. Let's look at some of the areas that is innovating, or you describe it, and the human potential shifts. For example, in predictive diagnosis, these AI tools can analyze large data sets to predict the disease risk or progression before system manufactures, because we need to now diagnose every disease at the earlier stage. So now HIMA will now move to look at how we react to the result to now take a decision, proactive risk modeling to help to make sure that the disease does not get to the advanced stage. We can also look at the prognosis modeling, where AI help to forecast how the disease will respond to specific treatment. You've given a drug, we can now model all those things, do a virtual stimulation that in place of this drug, what is this receptor going to do? Then it helps us from reporting. Now we now become consistent. So if you're able to understand all this algorithm, all these data science stuffs, then you will become the hot cake in your field. Again, diagnostic pathology. Now we know that every pathology we have to now scan, but with the help of AI, it can scan the whole tissue, slice, anything. Then we now look at how to interpret the result. Because now, remember, most of us in the lab, when we prepare the slide, we have to leave it there for the pathologist to come. And even this subject to subject valuation, but with the help of machines, it can kind of have some accuracy and consistent in the detection of cases, because some people can be in the hospital, by the time they diagnose even their cancer is in the late stage. It means oversight of the human eye. All these things can be avoided. Quality and error reductions, monitors instrument performance. So as soon as there's error, as soon as the AI is, because it's working on instruction, as soon as you see that there's error in the instrument, it will give you a flag, and you will now have to solve it. You move from every day, you go to chemistry analyzer, you have to do QC and the rest to continue. But most of these things can move away. Yeah, so I was saying AI can analyze sample, but I can't tell if a sample was mislabeled. Yes, exactly. So we need to, so some of these things is AI basically is working on instructions. So what we are saying is that if you're able to feed it with all these necessary instruction, the downstream processes errors are very well reduced. But if you're not able to label your sample well, that is from human perspective. It means, but it's not that you label it A and at the end the machine is going to give you as B. So that's still a human error, okay? But as soon as you're able to set the motion going, it reduces downstream errors. That's good. So the evolving human potential, we are now redefining our roles in this aspect of either AI, artificial intelligence, robotics, everything. We are now shifting to more doing, to more thinking. That is our area now. At first, that we have to always ask. At first, you have to go to the lab, you do a lot of pipetting, add this. But if this lab is advanced, we will be able to kind of reduce some of the doing. Then we shift more into thinking. So what we are saying is that automation is not a replacement. It is just a force multiplier. So we, the lab professionals, energy must shift from the bench to the brain. So it makes us think more. So we are now going to be thinking more than they're doing, because if you're able to think that, oh, you need to add this reagent to this reagent, you just program it on the machine, then it will do the work for you. Then you will now be thinking of what is the new thing, what should already done. Then leaving all the bench things to the machine, which will be now fun, because imagine how tired you are. You went to lab 8, you come back 5. You've been standing the whole day. you're adding this reagent, you are running FBC, you are running chemistry. By the time you come back, you are tired. Then you say the work is very stressful. But in the aspect of this robotics can be doing those kind of things to reduce the number of time you are really going to stand in the lab. So we are old rows. Then there's now the gold rows that we need, the brain. We are moving from the bench to now to the brain. For example, sample processing and manual steps. Now we can integrate it in the system. So we now have the system integration oversight. So now the sample processing that we do, as someone just said, label, you just have to make sure that you feed your sample to the machine, then you have the proper labels. That is your integrations. Then you look at everything, you monitor everything. So some steps are going to reduce it. Instrument loading and monitoring. This one, data interpretation. So at first, you are doing a lot of instrument loading. For example, when this cycle is complete, you need to take the sample to another stage like that. But if all these things is in a robotics pipeline, as soon as this sample is done, it will move it to the next line. And you will just be monitoring the data that is running to. If there's any error, then you now come in. That's your new role. Troubleshooting physical errors. Sometimes some of these things can be done, and you will now move into the editing of the algorithms. So if you think that the AI or robots or anything that you are working with has flagged an error, you will now go to your thingy to see that no, what is happening in the machine. Then you will go and correct it. Routine analysis and reporting. From routine analysis, now the robot is going to do everything for you, and you are now going to be the consultant. So this area is just redefining our role we have in our workplace. It's not going to replace that. But if you're not able to get the required skills for you to redefine your role, you'll be replaced. And how do we do that? We need to develop a new core skills. What I've divided into two parts, the technical mastery, and the next one will look at the cognitive leadership. So the first one is data science and analytics. That is why earlier to research in data science, we are inviting everyone. This is a basic requirement for everyone. You need to now have the ability to structure, query, analyze large diagnosis data sets. Understanding basic statistical models, ML principles. These are the skills that you need in this area. You don't have to wait. You don't have to see that this is for computer science people. If not, sometimes I will sit there and be thinking, now is computer science people taking over biology? No, that is where you have to also sit down and make sure you know these things. If not, you see computer science people will now come and work in the lab, then you go home because they know more than they know everything. You so you do want to be there or not? Because very soon your HOD will go and buy this advanced machine, they will come and put it there. You don't know how to operate, but the computer scientists know all this more than everything. They will come and be operating the machine because the only thing is when there's a flag, they know where to go and repair, and the machine keep moving. We don't need you again. So these are all basic skills we are calling everyone to come and now monitor. The next one is bioinformatics skills. This is also a competence in handling complex genetic and molecular data sets. That's what we do. Translating raw sequence data. So I was talking about the area of COVID-19. Those that knew how to run PCR and the rest, they were now taking over. But we don't know what is going to happen in the future. That is why we have to be prepared. The next one we have to be LMS interpret. So most hospitals have these laboratory information management systems. But how many of us are really abreast with them? We have to be able to expect. So this system have been introduced long ago. But what if they now combine them into robotics platform, EMR, AI engines? First, do you even have the knowledge of how these platforms work? And now they are going to combine with a lot of AI because the developers, day in, day out, they're also improving their softwares. So we have to be able to know that you are the master of what you know in your role. Then if there's any kind of role, they will be promoted to that role. we have to also have the cognitive and leadership. So, for example, critical thinking and validation is crossing everywhere. The robot only calculate, the human validate. So the result coming out, whether it's the right one or you are there to validate it. You must question the AI output. It doesn't mean the AI or this everything is right. You must question it, particularly edges cases on unexpected results using what deep domain language. But in this case, if you don't know how it works, how the robot has been programmed, it will be very difficult for you to question it. You might be accepting every result. But if you have knowledge about how some of these large models work, that's why you know that, oh no, this is wrong. This source code in the machine is what is giving this result. Then you can now what? Question it. The next one is we have to have ethical oversight. Identify and mitigation potential bias in AI algorithms. We have to wait. We have to have knowledge about that. Privacy and all those things, and collaboration and communications. Serving as crucial bridge between clinicians, IT specialists, and the AI models. You have to make sure you collaborate. Don't leave all the software, all those models to the IT. Small things that you call the IT. You have to make sure that when IT come around, you monitor what the IT guy is doing, so that in case the issue happen again, you tell your HOD, no, you know how to do it. That is what will add value as you in the lab. You have to make sure that you know some of these things. You don't say that you're always waiting for the IT specialist. If not, your very soon your HOD will tell you if they can't employ you again, or if they are laying people off, they will always see those that really does not have value, they'll lay you off. But you have to make sure that you are explaining complex AI-driven diagnosis in clear action terms to the patient care team. If there's a problem, that's why you will know how to solve it. So we have to be diverse. So what I call the center model, we are just collaborating with human and the AI or the robotics, everything. We are connecting your microscopy to the robotics and to the human. This is a collaborative work that we have. No one is going behind. It's a collaborative. So the combination of the human and machine intelligence, where the two work synergistically to achieve superior results. We are not achieving superior results because consistency is now coming to place. The machine will provide the speed for you. Look at the time you use to add gradient you use in your pipetting. So the time you used to do pipetting, the time you used to do move one sample to the other, now the robots will be doing it for you. Then you have freedom of fatigue. There's no way you come back to work, you'll be feeling tired because now you have something that will be doing some of the manual things for you. That thing will not get tired. Then what will you do? You will now be providing the abstract reasoning, empathy, ethical judgment, domain context. You'll be judging, is this thing result coming? Is it well? Then you're able to flag what is coming. It's a combination. So for example, if AI flags within a day 50 potential malignancy cases in a day, no, you have to know that the human expert will prioritize, validate, and see whether this is true. Maybe it's only 5 cases that was true. That is where you come in. So it doesn't mean the AI is there, so it's going to replace you. It's going to redefine your role. There's even more employments because at first it was only medical lab scientists. Now we'll be bringing people that also expert in these models, IT experts. So it's bringing more employment to the health sector because some of these things will be money now. The computer scientists will also be getting more employment in the hospital because they have a role. So is this development is now bringing more employment to us. Because if only the IT guy is there and IT guy is telling that today we have 50 cases, that's why you will come in and you can't tell them no. From your expertise, you're able to see that no, even the cases that are coming from your eyes is not a positive case. Then you go back and tell that no, this is a wrong model. You have to go and reprogram it. You have to go and do this. So it's now a collaboration. A collaboration. So we have to drive the innovation in the medical laboratories. How are we going to do the change? We have to functions and roles like participate in procurement. How are they going to do? We have to have some voice in selecting and validating new automated systems. Ensure they meet research and patient needs. But in this case, if you have knowledge about all these models, basic model, that's where you can contribute. But if you don't have knowledge and anything, there's no way we can contribute to any of these talks. Because if you're able to learn all these models, then you're able to know how all this platform works. That's why you can voice, you can add your recommendations, develop custom algorithms, work with data science to create locally relevant AI models based on your lab's unique patient demographic and data. So for example, maybe all the demographic we have in Sierra Leone is different from Nigeria, is different from Ghana. So you can now create, so if they've imported an outside, maybe this algorithm or this machine was developed for people in the Canadian and they are all white. You come and it's flagging all your samples positive. You have to know that there's something wrong. Then you ask yourself, how do you develop some of these models locally to suit Sierra Leone, locally to suit Nigeria, locally to suit Ghana? That is where you come in. You have to develop, look at what is happening, reset the performance. So, for example, as soon as all these models are coming, we the researchers it also works for us. Now we are kind of publishing on some of this AI accessibility across Ghana. Very soon we will do across Africa. So some of our fellows that we created this year, they are doing research on all those things to look at some of this performance. So any tool that will come, it's we the researcher, you the lab scientist, you need to look at the accuracies of these models. It's the same thing, those RDTs, or the malaria test, the HIV test, when they came, you were doing, so there's a lot of research has done the validity and accuracy of most of the RDT, then you have to validate them. So it brings work to us, especially with the researchers. We become happy. We want to validate all these models coming in order to tell the public that no, this thing is the best one to use. This is not the best. We advocate for digital literacy. So this digital literacy is a must. You need to know your computational skills, your data science skills. We have to push for curriculum reform. And that is why we, Elite Research and Data Science Institute, we are at the doorsteps of everyone. We are growing speedily across Africa. We want to make sure that this skills is a must-have skills. It's not an optional skills. This is a must-have skills. This a call to action for all early career professionals that your future starts now. We have to start now. And there's no time for you to wait. You have to embrace digital literacy. Don't just operate the machines. Understand the data pipeline. Seek out courses in Python, R, basic machine learning models. That's what my institute will do. If you follow us, you kind of learn some of these skills. It's a must-have skills in this area of data evolution. You need to think outside the box. Yeah, we have to view every manual process as automated opportunity. Propose innovation solution to your lab management. Every manual process that you see now can be automated, but you become the thinker. You've moved away from the doer. You have to become a system expert. Don't fear the transition. No, you have to lead it wherever you are. Become the in-house expert on how your lab's automation integrates with the wider health care system. So today you have to be checking your automation. Are you going to use that part? That is someone's work. So most often we are in the lab, we have people from the same as all those people we buy the machine from. They will come and service it for us every week. It's someone's work. So if you are fed up of being the lab, there's a lot of job opportunities for you. I would say that being the lab scientist is the best course that you can ever take, and it has a lot of opportunities for you to do. You have to network with innovators, engage with biomedical engineers and AI developers. They need your domain expert to build clinical tools. There's no way a computer scientist will develop a model without understanding the biological basics of the patients. They need you. Everyone needs everyone. You need to move with innovators, people that are passionate about what they are doing. We have to be passionate to drive innovation. Our future is in our own hands. That is what we are calling that. We are saying that robotic diagnosis is transforming the lab from a volume processor into a data intelligence house. That is what we are saying. Automation accelerates research and powers innovation through high throughput science and predictive AI models. The human potential is now elevated to roles of validation, ethical governance, and strategic consultations. That is what our new role is moving into. We are moving from the manual paper, we are moving from this manual, a lot of stressful activity we have in the lab. The future professional is centered, a fusion of deep laboratory expertise and computational powers. Now, IT literacy is a must. We need to have that. Not only this, in fact, today, if you look at a lot of even postgraduate program that you see, everyone is advertising for these ones. If you have those, like you'll be lucky behind AI models, foundation models, sickle cell technology, every day in, day out, I saw most posts coming to my timeline on X. Every kind of program is infusing AI models. There's no corner you enter today, you not see AI being infused. Every sector, if you come to the US here, every company is now infusing AI into their database, into their software. In fact, so if you don't have these skills, you are lucky behind. It is a must. And we are saying that we have to let commit to the merging human intelligence with machine capabilities, ensuring precision, speed, and excellence in diagnosis of tomorrow. We don't have to be lucky behind. You have to follow us if you have more questions. These are my institute media pages, and we are ready to move ahead with you anytime that you call upon us. Thank you. All right. Yes. I don't know if
Okay.
happy
Yeah.
about this. Put one in the chat before we hand over to the host to the questions. Yes. Great, 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 great. Yeah. Yes. Yes, back to you, host. And any question that you have.
Okay. Thank you so much. I believe we've learned a lot and we've done justice to our topic for today. Personally, I've been able to learn, and I know all participants have learned from the presentation that we had from, I can say, the experts in the field. We've gone through how laboratory medicine has transitioned phases. We've seen how most of the things that we used to do manually have now been transformed uh, into automated machines, such as sample processing, analysis. And as the presenter rightly said, this thing just keeps getting better. It's either we join now or we are totally left out. And the presenter has also showed us the way, things that we should embark on. We are in a data-driven world, and you cannot understand data without being knowledgeable about computer skills. As he rightly said, laboratory is now more of thinking for us humans, and machines are now doing the work. So we have to position ourselves with the right skills and the right leadership behaviors. Thank you so much, MLS. We
Right.
now open the floor for questions.
Yes. So questions
And
or contributions or anything you've read, bring it on board. Let's discuss. How are we going to make ourselves better?
the floor is open. So please, when asking the questions, go directly to the question and avoid side talks because we are almost running out of time. MLS Marie can take over.
Thank you. As for me, I am fully ready to embrace AI. I can remember as an intern at Connaught, I've been used to operating semi-automated analyzers for chemistry tests. But when I went there, the analyzer was fully automated. So in space of 30 minutes, we would have analyzed up to 30 samples. It was fast and it was relieving. At some point, I was shocked. I was like, on a normal, to analyze chemistry samples, it takes a lot of time. You have to add reagents, one to reagents, two, and then wait for some minutes. But with fully automated analyzers, we just need the serum, put it in the machine, then 10 minutes most we have the results. So I am fully ready to embrace AI. But in the country where I find myself in Sierra Leone, it's like a taboo of sorts for you to embrace AI. We have whenever we are giving assignments, they'll tell us not to use AI. Yes. At, at, at a point I was not using AI, but then I spoke to one of my mentors. I was like, "Do you use AI?" And he said, "Yes, of course, I do use that." I was like, me too, I need to use it. But as you mentioned earlier, it's like collaboration. I just don't sit and allow AI to do all the work. I have my ideas and say, this is this and this is what I want. And yes, I'll get the results that I want. So I'm fully excited for that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy to hear that, Mariam. Exactly. So the AI is not fully controlled. You have to feed it with the prompt. So for example, even those of us in school, you have to make sure you define your prompt. So that's also another topic, how to define prompt in AI tool that we use in teaching, learning, research, and all those things. That's make you get the result that you want. So it's how we use it that will define our rules. Thank you for the wonderful experience and for sharing with us, Maria. Yes,
You're
great,
welcome.
great, great. Yeah,
So are there any questions? Do anyone have any questions that you would like to relate?
yeah. Yeah, it looks like everyone is convinced that we are in the era of data revolution and is embracing the area. No one is having a lot of questions. I'm happy that we are all convinced. That's just the goal, to convince all of us to join the train before we are lagging behind.
Yes,
So,
I do have some few questions
okay.
though.
Mm-hmm.
That yeah. So in the era of AI diagnostics, what are the biggest barriers or risks to integrating automation and AI in diagnostic system?
Come again. You said what is the
The biggest barriers to integrating automation and AI in diagnostic systems?
Yes. So I would say the biggest barrier is, of course, the resources and finance. In fact, the reason why we cannot even develop AI models easily or anywhere in most developing countries is for you to launch a lot of AI models, it requires a very high true output machines. So that's why now it's the big companies that are holding it. So there's no way a small company will stand up and get the resources to develop these AI tools. So for now, we are just kind of users and how we are going to adapt what people are developing in our workplaces. So the most challenges is the resources, like the finance, how to finance these models. They run in a very high threat environment. Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you, sir. I think we have a question from our comment session. Please,
Mhm.
my question is that after the MLS program, is there a field we can dive into so as to further in the AI aspect?
Yes. So as I just shared before even my presentation, there's now, if you go to, there's a lot of certificate program. Now, almost every university is starting a master's course in even data science and AI alone. They are seeing the future is this AI models and data science. Now, a lot of even biological programs that are in their masters or PhD, they are trying to shift towards the AI and data science if you don't have those skills. So what is the hint? The hint is that even if you are applying for grad school now, it's better you make sure that you have some courses or something that have that skills. It will give you upper hand in all your application. Almost every application opening that I've seen, they are coming with data science background, AI, so if on your CV you tell them you have this background and this, you have experience in this, and even as a medical laboratory scientist, you have the upper hand. So there's a lot of field you can enter. It just takes a Google search that, oh, AI, biological program. So Medla, we are still in biological sciences. And now a lot of even now, all those genomics, everything, a lot of people are creating platform. There's a lot of models. Sometimes if I wake up and I go through bioarchive, I'm even afraid. A lot of models have been developed to predict a particular aspect of this research disease we are looking at. A lot of models are being developed each day in, day out using these machine learning algorithms and the rest. So if you tell people you can develop machine learning models to predict even HIV, you are almost 50% ahead of all your colleagues. So there's a lot of things that it's happening up there. So we have to make sure we position ourselves in those areas to give us upper hand in everyone.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think I believe that question have been put to rest, and as you rightly said, there are a lot of opportunities. But I think the main problem with most students in developing countries is how to search for these opportunities, being that they are not present in our education system.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. So, as I said, I understand. I totally understand. Even sometimes unfortunate. Sorry to say that, but some people even complete university degree and don't even know how to use computer to do a Google search. And I think some of those topics can be tackled in, I'm sure, as the Medlar Spy platform, you can even have those kind of topics in your future webinars where you teach people how to even use or have some basic IT skills, how to search. For example, if you want the information about this, how do you even go to Google and search? But most information, as soon as you are on Google, you search, it will come. Or another source of information is our social media pages like X. Day in, day out, a lot of people are saying something about AI, data science. So if you are there, you have to follow those kind of tweets. You are on LinkedIn, you have to be following those kind of materials. As soon as someone says something about, share something about it, you come across it. So those are the two ways. Through social media, there's a lot of opportunities. And I'm very happy that it's through social media that we've connected with Mike here and we've come together. So it means that we can never underestimate the power of social media. If not, I'll not be talking to people. Most majority of our participants today are from Sierra Leone. There's no way we can be connecting and discussing about this topic today. It's through social media, which is very, very interesting. Yeah. So there's a lot of resources. The resources can be on Google search. And now the nice thing is that now most of this Google search that we have, like the Chrome and the rest, they are now even transitioning into what we call AI-based browsers. Just this week, I saw someone has launched AI-based browsers. Very soon, AI-based browsers will be coming. And as soon as you put the prompt in it, it's going to look at all the data that has been fed into the model and give you the result. The secret around this AI is that they be filled with every data, like every information they have. Simply, is AI is just working that they fed with information and you go and give it the prompt, then it gives you the information that it has. That's the basic pipeline. So it's very interesting. So either you're on the Google for search, social media, you come across some of these resources and you're able to tap in to move ahead in your professional skills. Yeah, that was a good question. So I think someone has also raised their hand. Yeah, Ima.
Um,
Eben.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Good evening
Good
from
evening.
Ghana. Good evening from Ghana.
Good
Uh,
evening.
Let me first thank you for giving us such
Mm,
an insightful presentation. Yeah,
welcome.
it's really highlighted both the promise and
Yes.
how complexity AI can
Mm,
also be in diagnostics. But I know we will also move along.
mm,
My own question is quite related to what Mariam also raised. I just wanted to say we often talk about how uh, how AI is very potential, but how do we overcome the real world barriers like the data bias,
mhm,
lack of trust from the clinicians,
mhm.
and also how the integration can also be a source of challenges.
Yes.
So it's just a question around that, how we were able to also counter-react all those things, because these are all, when we use AI in disease modeling,
Mhm.
it can also, there can also be bias in the data aspect and the rest. So how do you also counter-react all those things?
Yes. So all come down to kind of the back end. So the question is, if you are the clinician, you are the medical lab scientist, you are the medical doctor that is going to use the output, you have to know what is happening at the back end. So what was used to train the models? Because if it was a very bad data or bad information that was used to train these AI models, at the end, if you question is going to be giving you wrong output and you are going to have trust issue, you end up wrongly diagnosis your patients. So that comes to the call to action that we have to also kind of master these models ourselves. That you, the medical life scientist, you, the medical doctor, you don't have to look at the result coming. It's like we medical lab scientists doing QC, quality control. You are sure that the quality control passed before you proceeded to do your chemistry analyze or chemistry run for the day. That's what we do every day. So it's the same thing as the AI coming to the lab. Now it's also another stand for us to now also go to understand what is happening at the back end. Why did it that if you put this information, it gives this output? So that if something goes wrong, we're able to see that now this is what is happening at the backstage, and that is why we are getting the right result or we are not getting the wrong results. I don't know if we are on the same level now. Yes, yes. So it's now brings us more work, more learning steps for us to now also go and learn more of this model and the rest. Yes, great.
Okay, still waiting for more questions.
Mm.
Or if you have any contribution, you can send in.
I think there is a question already on the chat.
Okay, yes. I think Solomon Sandy says,
Hello?
yes, Professor Binta. Please move away from your background. It's a bit noisy.
Sorry.
Okay, so let me see the question in the chat. He's saying, yes, I want to know if AI diagnosis can be used by physicians. Yes, that is if that models has been accepted. It's the same as the RDT, the test kit that we use in the lab. It's not that someone just developed test kit for malaria, so automatically every lab adapt. No, they need to validate it. That is by testing it on a known positive samples as we do, and known negative samples to make sure that yes, this is really accepted. Because currently I'm not sure any AI has been accepted in modeling. Most of them are under research proposes. But before, I'm sure in the future there could be something that in the lab, instead of the normal duty, an AI will come into your lab. Then you are now going to use it to diagnose malaria. It means that it has been tested through different stages. A lot of labs have seen that as soon as you put in it's a positive sample, it's a known positive sample, it's a known negative sample. It's not giving you a wrong. That's why we talk about the research intermediate. Because as soon as all these models start coming out, we the research scientists we try to evaluate all these models by feeding it with either the wrong data or the right data to also now also publish on it that yes, this tool developed by Kofi Eta, we have been access it and is now very good. And now before it to be accepted even in the health center for physicians to use. So it's not that if you stand up and develop anything, it will be accepted. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I think Fatmata Binta Jallo had wanted to ask a question. I don't know if she's around. Fatmata
I'm
Binta, you
around
can.
still. I'm around. I was late for the meeting, so I couldn't get much. But I just wanted to know how important is data science for lab professionals nowadays?
How important is,
Data science for lab professionals nowadays.
yeah, in fact, whatever we talk about today for an aspect of data science, machine learning, in fact, they are all, data science consists of all these stuff we are talking about. The LLM, machine learning, everything is broadly considered as the data science. So that's why we are going to learn some of these modelings that we are talking about, so that you can now apply it into your future models. So how to use R, how to use Python, how to use them to write instructions for algorithms, all those things. That is the relevant of data science. That's the new field that is rapidly developing.
Okay.
Yes.
The other question.
Mm.
What advice will you give to someone who wants to start learning how programs for healthcare data?
So someone that wants to start learning R programs, right?
Yeah. What's your advice?
Yeah, so I would say that this kind of programming language, R and Python, that's the most common one, and which my institute that we teach, even some of my tutors are here, George is in the touch. So we've been teaching people over the years. They are simple but very confusing. So what advice I'll give to the person is locating the right sources, or the right resources. If not, you give up. You go and start learning today, you give up. You go and start learning today, you give up. But if you join the right trainings, then it will motivate you. Because the name is what language. Okay. I don't know the kind of language you use in Sierra Leone, or which language do you use? But
We have English, we have Creole and all.
yes. So for example, you know, you didn't stand up and start speaking English, right? You learned from A, B, C, D and how to form words and how to what? Make sentences, phrases, and now we are able to communicate freely in English, right? So it's the same thing applied to this language. They are also language from the name, they are language. So means they have their own form of instructions. You cannot go and input some of the English stuff that we know or the English writing in Python. No, it means you need to now start from the basics and learn the language of Python, learn the language of R before you be motivated to move on. Yes, if not, you give up. You think that, oh, you are learning French. You stand up, you've not learned the basics of French. You want to speak French, you give up. Okay. So that's my advice is locate the right resources. Then you'll be able to move from the right basics to the very high. And you now use it to write instructions in any folder you want. Day in, day out, I use R because I need to analyze data. I need to do genomics data analysis. I need to do this. So it's really fun. And you're able to do more compressed stuff. Yes. Good question, Fatmata Binta Jola.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mm, mm.
Paul said, Mr. Eben, I would
Hello,
like to.
hello,
Okay. Good.
hello,
It
sir.
doesn't matter. Okay, you can ask one more question. We are running out
Just
of time.
one more question, please.
Okay. Yes, I'm happy you are
I
asking
just,
more question. Yes, Binta.
I just want to know, how do you see AI impacting the role of medical laboratory scientists in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, so I would say that it will be a very great change because it's going to take off the stressful work that we do in the lab. But the challenge, as we've seen, is the resources, as we from the developing countries. In fact, the developed country already, they've started infusing most of these things. They are really developing now. A lot of people, they are not sleeping. You come here, they are not sleeping, or they are looking at a way to develop these models to make it work. But in developing countries, we are in our comfort zones. And it's up to our leaders, our government, our political parties to invest resources and say that, oh, we want to transform our country into this transition. We don't have to wait for the developed countries to develop and we now take huge money and go and buy them and bring it. When we bring it, we now also have to recruit people. We have to train them. They bring it and no one having the skills. So I see that it's going to change a lot of world, but we don't have to wait 20 years behind, 30 years behind. Whilst people have moved from these models, grade 1 to grade 3, or they are in grade 10. And maybe now there's now grade 1 is being launched in Africa. We don't have to wait. We have to make sure we are moving in line, which will be a great change.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I saw Paul. Paul said he wanted to add something to the
Mhm.
response
Yeah.
that you gave. Paul, I think you have 1 minute. You can add your response.
Yes.
All right. Good evening to everyone, and thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, so is the data science question I'm responding to,
Mhm.
and my little contribution is that aside just running analysis, data science can also help us track surveillance and know what kind of condition is prevalent or probably being kept under a certain institution or maybe locality or area. Right. So when it comes to public health, surveillance is very paramount or key. And it's through data science we can really drive insights into the data that is being generated in the laboratory. Right. And hopefully maybe tomorrow I might share some of my works on that, where we run analysis on a platform and along the line also track the various surveillance both in terms of facilities and locations. So maybe hopefully tomorrow, maybe we'll explore more on that. Yeah, thank you.
Great,
All
great,
right.
great.
Thank you
Yes,
so much, Paul.
yes, yes.
So, um,
Yes.
we are
Please, I
almost.
have some. Hello.
Yes, MLS.
Yes. Yes. So, thank you very much, Event, for that. So I was thinking, since we are let me don't say we are transitioning. I can just say, as for Africa, we are transitioning, especially developing countries, and because looking abroad, most of them have transitioned. Most people have transitioned. So
Yes.
now, being that we are from Africa and we are trying to incorporate this shift, that is transition, and we are seeing the future of diagnostics, the way it is going, how things are steering towards automation.
Mhm.
I was thinking, as a way, is it not good for like our curriculum in Africa to be like streamlined, or for me to say, for it to move again and steer towards wherein they can have a particular set wherein students can be introduced into these programming stuff and everything. So, for example, if I'm a medical lab science student, um, there should be a particular set, or it's not like just going to do word and this thing, but let there be a curriculum set for students to start programming, because I believe if we didn't develop the idea of programming at an early stage, it is very difficult when we are old for us to pick it up. So sometimes, if imagine spending in school like 4 to 6 years without having any idea about programming,
Yeah.
and the ability to move towards programming is not just something that will come.
Yeah.
There is supposed to be a motivation, right? There is
Yes.
supposed to be a motivation. Just like the way we do hematology. You
Mhm.
know, we when we started, we knew nothing about hematology.
Mhm.
But as time goes on, we started to develop the enthusiasm for blood cancer and all these things. These are some of the things that steers our mindset, or our thought that I want to specialize in hematology. I want to specialize in this area. If you are a clinician also, these are some of the things that push you towards a particular point where you need to specialize. But in as much as we are going towards this place, I think it is more important for search to be incorporated into the curriculum. So wherever you are going, you can students can now be able to think how, because if I'm doing programming and I'm doing something related to, like you are saying, Iben,
Mhm.
if we don't stay up to task,
Mhm.
then one day you will see yourself being replaced by a computer science student,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And a computer science student cannot just come to
Mhm.
so even though we are saying replaced by a computer science student, but he cannot just come and do coding and other things and feed
Mhm.
information when he doesn't have an idea
Mhm.
of these particular conditions.
Yes.
So I believe, I was thinking, the best people that can do that is
Mhm.
how best our education system can
Mhm.
groom within
Mhm.
us
Yes.
the enthusiasm at an early stage for us
Mhm.
to be able to look at
Mhm.
um, 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 this robo-diagnostics. So whatever field we are going now, we try to look at a way we can incorporate whatever things we've done in programming or what
Mhm.
into whatever field we want to specialize
Mhm. Exactly, exactly. That's a great thought. In fact, that's the bottom line. In fact, curriculum is a whole topic on its own. That time will not permit me to talk about it. Briefly, I'm just saying is that if you go back to Africa, some of us have moved to all stages. So we can tell you that some of the curriculum we are dealing with is we are still in the 17th and 17th.
on.
We are way
Yes.
backing up. That is the truth. But some of our leaders are not ready to infuse that change. So that's why I'm happy that, for example, we have this platform we've discussed. Those of us who were able to see the spotlight, then you now have to tap into some of the organizations out there willing to transition your life, and that will give you the opportunities ahead of anyone that is way behind. It's a lot of things when we want to talk about this curriculum thing. A lot need to change, but let's see how it goes. Thank you very much for touching on that topic.
Yeah. So just final one as well. So what I experienced is that, back then I used to find it difficult to send in information to a large group, like email to a large group of people, But with time, as I started to think about, these coding and all, I noticed that it is something that is simple. You just have to input some codes, and people can receive their personalized message. And I felt good at that time when I knew that one. So I just imagine I knew more than this. How will I feel?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, in fact, so what we are all saying is that this is creating a better world for us. And I'm very happy for the fruitful discussion so far, the insight that we've gotten that this is not just something optional, it's a must for us to make our life very easy going forward. Thank you, Michael, very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, MLS.
Mhm.
In your patent statement, I heard you say that you have a team that teaches is it data analytics
Yeah,
or
so most
so?
of the program you talk about are Python, data science, like we teach
Okay.
basics to advanced data science. That's what we teach, everything. I've been teaching this back in my university, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, before I finally moved to the US to do my PhD. And we have a strong team, and I'm hoping we can collaborate in future and see how best we contribute to the growth of Africa.
Yes, sure. So as Michael was saying, we really need a conversation about streamlining our education system towards data analysis, and that is not coming anytime soon.
Exactly,
I
and
think
that
it's best
is
that
some of the
we
things.
make use of platforms like yours. So
Yes.
I don't know if there's a way, maybe you can collaborate with Michael and see how best we include students from maybe Sierra Leone and other African countries to benefit from your work that is doing. Maybe we have online classes
Yes.
in this data analysis stuff because that's the only way for now. And
Exactly.
you can give your
Exactly.
parting statement. Thank you so much.
Exactly. So that is all what we are pushing forward because we've seen that when we graduate, there's nothing to do about. We become unemployed. We are looking for labs. We are getting rejected, but we've seen that there's way things we can do beyond being a medical lab scientist. You need to have skills to your way and you'll be valued. So that's why some of us are creating the passion for us to move ahead in the untapped skills that we have in aspect of research and data science. Or in the growing world, we need to grow with what is happening in the outside world. So we are always ready to provide our services to help Africa grow to the level of everyone. And I thank Mike here and the team for giving us the platform for us to talk about this very important topic today. Thank you all participants for joining me and hope to see you anytime in any webinar.
All right. Thank you so much, MLS Senu. I believe it's been a very educative session. We've learned what Robo-Diagnostics is, what it's actually doing in the laboratory, and we have also learned the future, what we are supposed to do exactly. As MLS Senu rightly said, this era of Robo-Diagnostics is here to stay. It's either you become part of it or you are left out. And I believe none of us would want to sit and watch AI sail further. So the call to action is for us to be part of this era, we have to have the right technical skills, and we also have to have the right leadership and cognitive skills. Therefore, the new way is we should have technical mastery in data analysis, bioinformatics, data science, and analytics. Thank you so much, MLS Senu, and I will hand over to Madam Marie Kamara.
Yes, it has been an amazing presentation. MLSNO has explored how automation and intelligent diagnostics are reshaping research, driving innovation. But this should not just be a topic, like you said. There is something we as medical medical laboratory students, professionals should do. So I believe it's high time we start asking questions like how we as medical laboratory students, professionals, innovators, and change makers position ourselves to lead transformation and not just follow it. So it's high time we start to collaborate across disciplines, rethink how we work, and embrace the tools that can make us faster, smarter, and more impactful rather than shielding ourselves from it. And most importantly, to have commitment to building a future where technology amplifies human intelligence. So, to every participant here, your voice matters in reshaping this new era. And yes, please feel free to share your reflections in the chat, connect with other participants, and and I hope you all have a wonderful presentation.
All right, thank you, Madam Marie, and thank you to everyone who participated. Hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same platform. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.